Today we're going to be talking about the quarterback situation in Houston. All right, so before we start anything off, guys, I just want to say thank you so much for all the support. We've just hit 100 subscribers, and I think that's really, really cool. It's only been about a month for the channel being open, so I'm really excited about it. I'm really proud of the growth that's kind of happened over this last month, and that has everything to do with you guys. So thank you so much for all you do. Thank you for the views and the comments and subscriptions and all that. It's really awesome. So, and this is just the beginning, guys. This is just the beginning. It's only going to grow from here, and I'm really excited to see where it goes. So thank you so much for the support, and now let's go ahead and dive into everything. All right, so let's talk about Deshaun Watson, guys. So the Houston Texans have really put themselves in an interesting position here with their players. Now, they've traded away DeAndre Hopkins. You guys know all about that. One of the worst trades in NFL history, and now Deshaun Watson looks like he wants out of that Texans team as well. Now, that's a really interesting thing for the Dolphins. And here's why. I know a lot of people look at this draft coming up for Miami as, you're either drafting a quarterback this year or next year. And I understand the logic. I understand where you're coming from. But here's what I would like to say in regard to this specific draft. Now, I think if Miami would take a quarterback, it's going to be this draft. I don't think they're going to wait till next year and look at Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields. I just don't think that's realistic. I don't think the team is going to be bad enough to have a high enough pick to take one of those guys next year. And B, I just think they're ready to move towards, the quarterback of the future now. I don't think there's any more waiting for this team. Now, when you look at this draft class, guys, and specifically the quarterbacks, I think that it has been a habit that a lot of people have really hyped up this draft class like it's one of the greatest that we've ever seen. I just disagree with that. There are so many question marks with this quarterback class, and that's from top to bottom. You're looking at guys like Joe Burrow, who is a one-year wonder. He couldn't start in Ohio State. He left and went to LSU. His junior season wasn't impressive. If coming into this last season, he would have been a late-round pick. He has a phenomenal year. Clearly, one of the best seasons that I've ever seen in college football, but you have to wonder how much of that had to do with the talent around him, how much of that had to do with Joe Brady. So you've got Joe Burrow, who is the Heisman standout, the consensus #1 pick, but he's a one-year wonder, so there's a lot of question marks with him. Tua, you've got a guy who is supremely talented, who's been doing it in college for a long time. He would be the obvious #1 guy, but he's got injury and a lot of injury history, and now he's coming off of what is a career-threatening injury. So you've got a guy like Tua, lots of talent, lots of question marks. And then after that, you just got guy after guy. You've got Herbert, you have Jordan Love, you have Jacob Eason, you got Jake Fromm. There's a handful of guys after the top two who are project type players. They're not guys who are going to come in day one and be a superstar for you. I think any team that drafts Jordan Love is going to sit him for a year. Any team that drafts Jake Fromm is going to sit him. Any team that drafts Jacob Eason, you don't know. And then, Justin Herbert, I think, is the best of all of those guys, but I still think that he has a lot of work to do. So when you're looking at this quarterback class this year, I really just don't think there's any slam dunk, this is absolutely the guy, and you'd be missing out on a potential Hall of Famer if you pass on him. I just think there's a million question marks with almost every guy. So why would you not want to trade for somebody who is 24 years old, who has been a Pro Bowler twice, who in his first 2 years of starting in the NFL has led his team to the playoffs, they've won their division, and they've won one playoff game? Why would you not want a guy like that? Deshaun Watson is the answer. Now, whether it's for the Dolphins or the Patriots or the Chargers or whatever team he goes to, or even for the Texans if he stays in Houston, Deshaun Watson is the answer for somebody. I think the question is whether that's going to be Miami or not. Deshaun Watson has done everything in the NFL over the first 3 years of him being a quarterback that you could ever want from a young guy. He's been successful. He's provided the stats. He's been a team leader. He's won a playoff game. He's lived up to every potential that has ever been set for him, and I think that's something that the Dolphins need on this football team. So I want to know down below, guys, what do you think is a realistic trade for Deshaun Watson? What do you think a reasonable asking price is, and would you be willing to meet that asking price? All right, guys, thank you so much for watching today. Appreciate all the support. It's just the beginning. We're only going to grow from here, and I'm so excited to see where the channel goes. So thank you so much for everything, guys. Enjoy the rest of your night, and as always, fins up.